Burning Rubber is social. Follow us on Instagram at Instagram.com/Burning Rubber Radio. Now back to more Burning Rubber.
All right, it's time for another fast lap when it comes to the Burning Rubber Radio crew. And boys,
hear that race car go by?
You forgot I could do my own sound effects, didn't you?
Yeah, I know. You used to do all that weird stuff.
I mean, I still have them, so don't tip me.
Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. Man, I'm excited to be back. You know, the off season's turned out to be pretty cool, especially here at Burning Rubber Radio. And slowly but surely getting our new format into things, Wayne.
Yep, we are very slowly but surely getting a new format into things here. And as we hang out with folks on all of our social platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X, TikTok, soon to be back up in full motion again here very soon, along with Rumble. And, of course, folks, make sure if you're on our Facebook, facebook.com/Burning Rubber Radio, x.com/BRR_radio, Instagram.com, Burning Rubber Radio. YouTube is Burning Rubber Radio. Rumble is Burning Rubber Radio. We're just all over the place. And but real quickly here, we're going to get into the fast lap here this week as far as news and all the other fun stuff is concerned. And got to go back to the Snowball Derby from this past weekend here. Caden Honeycutt, almost called him Cunny Honeycutt. Wow. Caden Honeycutt wins the 57th annual Snowball Derby this past Sunday. And this was after Stephen Davis, who was the original first winner for the Snowball Derby, was disqualified during post-race inspection. So that makes things a little more entertaining there. But regardless of the matter, congratulations to Caden Honeycutt on being named the winner. And then moving over into the world of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series here, a lot of news has come out of it recently. And just touching on the headlines here real quick, MHR Racing has officially announced that Connor Mosack will contest a full-time NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series campaign. And again, MHR being McAnally Hilgeman Racing for 2025. And the team announced that this past Tuesday afternoon. Gio Ruggerio, who is well known in the World of Outlaws late model series, as well as just late models in general, will officially contest a full-time truck series deal as well. And that'll be under Toyota Driver Development with TRICON Garage. And speaking of TRICON Garage, another name that we've also mentioned on our Facebook page, and that being one, Toni Breidinger, is jumping full-time into the truck series as well with TRICON Garage.
Yeah, cool. And she's been doing a lot of modeling here in the off-season. Been on our Burning Rubber Radio Facebook page.
She has.
Check it out, guys.
She has. And, folks, Now, I'm going to call this out. I'm just going to say it. If you're an everyday average man and you like the swimsuit edition for Sports Illustrated and you're a NASCAR fan, be on the lookout, because as we posted on our Facebook page last week, Toni Breidinger is going to be gracing the pages of the Sports Illustrated swimsuit magazine coming up in 2025 as well.
Hey, John, we got to be careful here in the studio, so we got to make sure we don't step on Wayne's tongue.
I see the drool over there already happening.
Hey, what can I say? I mean, Toni is a beautiful young woman, and you know
you're a dirty old man.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not as old as you two yet.
True.
I still got 20 years before I catch up to Andy, and at least 50 before I catch up to Joe. Wait a minute, sorry.
Hey, I resemble that remark.
Oh my God. Anyway.
And of course.
Oh God, that Muttley thing. Oh gee.
But then moving on as well over here into the world of Xfinity, and this is some news that I'm not gonna lie, I actually was happy to see. And Sammy Smith, as everybody knows, is going to JRM again full-time in 2025. And with that, they are bringing back the stylized number 8 that was made famous when Junior drove it for DEI at the end of his run with his father's team before his move over to Hendrick Motorsports.
John,
Yeah.
you got something to tell us about that, don't you?
Well, a lot of people don't know how he wound up with the 88 instead of the 8. When he left DEI, Teresa wouldn't let him have the number 8. And he wanted 88, but he had asked for the 28 with, oh my goodness, what's the name, Andy? Robert Yates.
Robert
Yeah.
Yates,
Yep.
yes.
Yeah. And he wanted the 28, but Robert, out of respect to Davey Allison, didn't want him to have the 28, so he let him have the 88. And Dale said later he kind of wanted the 88 because his grandfather, Ralph Earnhardt, had used the 88 years ago. So that's kind of why he wound up with that number. I thought him being with 28 would look pretty cool, out of respect to Davey. But it is what it is.
It would have been really cool, actually. I will agree with you on that point, John. It would have been nice to see him carry on Davey's legacy just as much as anybody else's. Because, we all know Junior has built a legacy of his own right. And
Absolutely.
some of the history that he has carried on, including his runs in the number 3 late model car that he brings out for the Cars Late Model Tour every now and again, whether it be the Sundrop car, whether it be the Budweiser car, whatever the case might be, Junior has done wonders with his legacy, and I can only imagine how much more we're going to see, coming into 2025 this year with the Cars Late Model Tour, amongst other things he's got going on with JRM and the NASCAR Xfinity Series. And I still hope one day that we may see a JRM car come into the NASCAR Cup Series, but time will tell as far as that is concerned.
There's a little something that I may have heard, and I neither can confirm nor deny this. And I think I can probably just leave this here about an Earnhardt at Daytona. There might be more than one. I don't know.
Is it possible it might be a Jeffrey and a Bobby Dale?
I don't know. That's the only ones I know of running lately. But I can't go into anything more than that.
Well, we'll see. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. Hopefully it is Jeffrey and Bobby Dale.
Ow,
That would
John,
be really...
quit kicking me under the table.
Hey,
something is in the works with one of the E-boys.
Hey, Andy. Well, John's kicking you, and guess what?
Oh, Lord.
Look, wrong way. Ugh.
Yeah.
I
I want to bump John in the head.
the joys of off-camera punching.
Lord.
But either which way, too. And speaking of Teresa, actually, it's kind of funny, Andy. I posted this story on our Facebook page a couple of months back. But this has been, she has just been in a world of just creating trouble for no reason here of late. Not only the deal with, giving Junior the number back years ago, but here recently, within the last few months, she was trying to get Dale's farmland that he had for all those years. She was trying to go and get it rezoned commercially to put a business park on his farmland.
Yeah, I know. She and Dale said this when he was alive. She was a businesswoman, and that his whole world, all of his marketing and everything that he was, all of his deals was Teresa. He had nothing to do with that.
Right.
But
in the same,
I agree. There's some legacy there, brother.
Exactly.
Leave it in the family,
Exactly. Don't touch it. Leave it in the family and just let it be. But town of Mooresville here in North Carolina, their city council or town council, sat down and had the rezoning meeting and everything like that. And what was funny is Teresa couldn't even be bothered to show up to the rezoning meeting and was automatically denied.
All right. Good on you, Mooresville.
Yeah, we had some family land here in Alabama that was lost. We had 300 acres that had been in the family for years. And
wow.
It went a different direction, and it really kind of hurt. But it is what it is. So.
Yeah, not much you can do about it. Then I'll tell you what. Now we got to move in here. Three last bits of news we're going to touch on this week here.
One and a two and a three and a four. Are we gonna...
But three last bits of news we're going to touch on real quick here in this week's Fast Lap on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Rumble, as well as X, is that the Chili Bowl feature, which normally was anywhere between 60 and 100 laps, in years past, and actually just recently was run down to 55 laps, for 2025 has been cut down to 40 laps.
Is it because of entries?
Honestly, based on what I've read, it looks like it was. I mean, there's no reasoning behind it here. Originally, it says the distance was extended to 55 laps to honor Donnie Ray Crawford after his death in 2012. But based on this, there's no specific reasoning why, except for the fact that this is the 40th edition of the Tulsa Shootout, as well as the Chili Bowl. So I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's the 40th anniversary. Who knows? But either way, you would think they would make something like that 80 laps, and if that's the case, to really make way for the 40th annual running of the event. But moving in now over into the NASCAR Cup Series, and our friends over at Kaulig Racing are officially shuffling their leadership deck around, and the winds of change as they continue to sweep through everything in the NASCAR Cup Series. Kaulig Racing is definitely not going to be unaffected by this one. The team announced several competition leadership changes for the Cup Series program. Mike Cook will be joining the team as a technical director, following more than a decade as a winning lead engineer over at Stewart-Haas. And then Australian native Andrew Dickinson has been named crew chief for Kaulig Racing's number 10 Chevrolet for Ty Dillon. Longtime crew chief Trent Owens will return with three-time NASCAR Cup Series winner AJ Allmendinger. And it looks like, from what I can see here, that is the biggest changes that are being listed with Kaulig Racing for 2025 coming forward. And then the last thing that we want to touch on with folks here in this week's Fast Lap edition, and this is where we can really sit down and have some fun and have a little conversation for a couple of minutes. The clash that used to be at the Coliseum that is now going to be at Bowman Gray Stadium on Sunday, February 2nd. It has been announced as of November 25th that this race is sold out.
Good. It's about time. I think this is going to be cool, really. Bowman Gray is one of my bucket lists that I haven't made yet, but anything's going to be better than running the Coliseum in LA. Come on.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%.
Yeah, I haven't been there either, Andy, but I'd like to go sometime. But
what's interesting
to see how it goes.
What's interesting is it being a native to North Carolina. Even I've never been to Bowman Gray.
Yeah. We need to make that. Oh boy, that's going to be something we ought to do, is cover the madhouse here and there.
That would be funny. And you know what? The fun part is now, instead of calling it the Clash of the Coliseum, we can call it the Madhouse Clash.
Wayne's been really good with this stuff here lately, John. Don't you agree?
I know.
He's been making up names, Fast Lap, Burnouts, and all of this stuff.
The Madhouse Clash at Bowman Gray.
There we go.
There we go.
Sounds good.
Oh my
I
gosh.
like it. I like it a lot.
Hey, also something coming into Speed Weeks, folks. Our good buddy, the general of the Burning Rubber Radio Army, Joey Coulter himself, he's told me he doesn't know exactly what he's doing, but there is a possibility he may be running at New Smyrna over here leading up to. I mean, that's conjecture on my end, but I've talked with them, and if so, we're going to do a up close with Joey and follow him for the entire weekend at New Smyrna that we'll have posted up on social media. So that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'll be pretty cool indeed. In fact, actually, I just saw a post earlier Wednesday morning, being today when we're taping this, that Joey and Jess are on their way to North Carolina. I might have to go bug them.
Oh my gosh, man! They go up to North Carolina, and then when they get up to where states where they go. Whoop, way around it, make sure they pass mine.
Well, no, the big argument this morning was who was going to get the first class seat, Joey or Jess, and neither one of them got upgraded to first class today. So
I remember in the past, folks, there was a big, I don't know if it was a falling out, but didn't Jess get upgraded once, and then Joey had to sit back in cattle car all by himself?
Yep. But honestly, and also, something else to shout out to real quick here before we wrap up this week's Fast Lap is Wednesday, December the 11th, while we're taping this. Jessica Coulter's birthday is this week, folks. So
Happy birthday, Jess!
If you see Jess around Facebook, or if you talk to Joey, make sure to wish Jess a happy birthday for this week.
Absolutely, yeah.
And but with that all said here, that's going to round it out for another Fast Lap on Burning Rubber for the week. So again, folks, this will be up on our Facebook, X, YouTube, Instagram, and Rumble pages for everybody to enjoy and check out. And if you want to give us a follow, we would much, much appreciate it. We just recently surpassed 5,800 followers thanks to all of you in the Burning Rubber Radio Army. And we thank you so much. Have a great rest of your week, and we will be talking to you guys again next week.
Burning Rubber, baby.